hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Gamelitical Correct podcast. We have a lot to talk about. We've missed last week, so the news and the rumors have been piling up quite a bit much, don't you think?
Definitely, man. Just it's, this week doesn't end, dude. Like
It was,
it
was
literally doesn't end.
it was so much.
I
We
remember, I
had
remember, like completely like texting you like X post about like people, studios they planning layoffs constantly, and you were
yeah.
at work, and you were like, my God, dude.
I'm working day and night at work. I have so
Yeah,
little time, and I'm getting all the news from Georgia, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? Like,
yeah.
I
Because
cannot handle this.
if you remember, we were just planning to have an episode about Summer Game Fest and Xbox
Yeah.
Showcase, and then these things start piling up, and I said, you know what?
That's
Okay,
me.
they were great shows. They show some good games. What
Yeah.
happened to you, man?
I don't
What
know.
happened?
This happened. It's a sneeze, bro. What the fuck?
All right, I'm just checking on you. Relax. And as you can understand, you
What's
see,
that?
I forgot to mention that. We should
What
start
is
like
that?
that. That's the first attempt of our merch, dude. I don't know. It looks good. I don't know.
Looks great. Looks great.
That's a prototype.
That's a prototype. It looks good though.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
don't know if
good.
it looks so can camera like right now. I'm seeing a low bitrate view. I have to
Yeah,
check in later in editing, but it looks great.
that looks good. Yeah. Well, I'm
So
gonna. Yeah. So
we have to get this started because it's going to take so long.
yeah, it's gonna
There
be.
are
Yeah, it's gonna
so
be very
many
long.
news, so many. So I'm gonna let you kick things off however you want.
Yeah. So let me start by saying that Xbox Showcase was a good studio. Sorry, a good event.
Yep.
I just like I just have a lot of like studios
Yeah, a
layoffs
lot of
in my
studio
mind, and I
news.
just
Yeah.
yeah. So the show was really good, but what continued after that, it was a total disaster. Like
Yeah.
because there've been a lot of rumors around that no one denied so far that EA, Xbox, Microsoft try like to restructure, reset the whole company, and with them resetting the company, there is a lot of layoffs and studio closures.
Sure.
And so far, what is being heard is Ninja Theory, which is really weird because I think we were watching the showcase today together, and we saw that they announced a new Hellblade, right?
Yeah.
Like they were making the new Hellblade, and then rumors sparking around, and they saying that they might close the studio. How they will close the studio, first of all, and then follows Double Fine, the Psychonauts devs, and then is Compulsion, the studio behind South of Midnight, and if I'm We Happy Few, something like that. I don't remember what was the name. And there is some other rumors that they haven't been confirmed by anyone, to be honest with you. So just take it as a grain of
Rumor
salt.
alert. Take that with a
Yeah.
big grain of salt.
Yeah, that Arcane Austin, they're getting closed as well. They're in danger. I don't know if they're closed. We have like huge.
If the rumors are correct, yeah.
I don't know what to say, dude. Let's start.
Let me start by saying like Xbox is going for a massive reset. It seems like with all the news, we are going to talk about them, of course, here today. But
Yep.
with all the news that we've been hearing about all the studio closures, the layoffs, it seems like the Xbox as a whole, as a company, is doing so bad, and the new CEO is trying as hard as she can to, restructure the whole thing so it survives, and even if it takes a big hit at the moment, it will start developing in the following years. That's what I see. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Seems like the the likely scenario here. This company has to restructure, has to reset completely. Even if it takes a big hit now, it's going, if the decisions that are going to be taken are correct, they are going to, to be developed as a company. They're going to grow as a company. That's what needs to be done at the moment. That's my take.
I think they already mentioned in one of their reports that Asha spoke about big reset, right? And in my opinion, because we're talking about Microsoft now and Xbox and all that, we have to actually mention other people as well, because in July, at the beginning of July, which starts the new fiscal year, there is a lot of rumors around that EA is gonna make a lot of like layoffs. Sony reportedly, allegedly, as we say in these episodes that we're doing, podcasts that we're doing, that they planning to get rid of, lay off, whatever, 400 people from Bungie, which is not surprised by anyone. Like, no one is surprised about this thing, to be honest.
I'm actually mad. I'm not surprised. I'm mad.
Yeah, but I'm mad as well because they could do so much better. And because we're talking about Bungie now, one of our like videos that were really good, one of the reels that we had on Instagram that were really good. We hit like 13,000, which thank you so much, guys, for your support.
Thank you very much.
Great.
Thank you. We appreciate
that. Was great. And we spoke, and there was a lot of like people commenting down on the reel, and they were saying that hopefully they will see that Marathon is not a good game, and then they will find out that we need to make a new Destiny 3, and they will go for Destiny 3. And as we said so many times, I don't think that this is happening. If Marathon will fail, I don't think that's not a good news for Bungie.
No, definitely not.
And Ubisoft earlier like that week also closed 2 more studios and lay off 380 people. No surprise here.
Nope.
Again,
yeah.
Yeah, we already, whatever. But yeah, so it's basically what we were saying so many years before we actually starting our podcast. We were saying that if you don't live under the rock, when you're completely clueless of what's going on in the industry, since COVID happened, these companies, due to the huge deadlines that they had, obviously, they needed to overhire people, and people that they've been around the industry a little bit, because as I said so many times, guys, we are not prophets. We're just gamers that we actually covering the news, We're just, you could see that layoffs coming.
Yeah.
All these devs that they've been hired, they will eventually go. They will keep only the real talent, and people that they are not so good, they will just go. You know what I mean? It's sad, 100%, dude. But
sad, but these are major corporations that we're talking about. They are always gonna have the corporation's best interest in mind. So if the best interests are layoffs, they're just gonna do it. You cannot do anything about that. I'm not even gonna touch Ubisoft because we had an episode. Half of the episode was on their financial report, and they said that they're going to cancel 7 games or something. Was it 6 or 7? I don't know. And
something like that. Yeah.
And they were delaying another few games, and now we have the news that they are going to shut down studios and lay off people. Like, we expected this from Ubisoft. Like that wasn't any unsurprising news, I would say. But from all the other studios, it is a bit surprising, but not in hindsight. You can see, if you've been following the industry for the last like 5 years, you could see that they would overhire by a large margin. They would overhire people, and you cannot you cannot sustain that. Even if you do overhire in cycles, like you hire people to finish projects and then you lay them off, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
not surprising at all. It's not surprising. It doesn't have to do any. It doesn't say anything about any company in particular. Layoffs
Yeah.
happen. That's if that's best for business, that's what's going to happen. Uh, really, I don't think anybody should be surprised
At all.
from these
Yeah.
kind of decisions. It's sad people lose their their livelihood, but maybe those layoffs could be limited time contracts. You don't know. You don't know.
Yeah, no one knows, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But as we said, like big changes, resets are always painful,
Hmm.
especially for the devs, for the people who lose their jobs. Don't get me wrong, right?
Me too.
But the reality
So
is that some studios are way too bloated. And
yeah.
when you have like games, as we mentioned so many times, because it's our favorite like topic in in this podcast, that you have like these little winners that they're really, they didn't spend anything with a fraction of a cost, and the
Hmm.
small team, they just making great bangers, you know what I mean? And people, they love them. Expedition 33, how many times we'll say about this game?
Yeah.
Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, that I'm not seeing anyone mention, and I'm pissed because that's another game that barely cost 30 to 40 million,
Hmm.
small team, and over deliver an amazing product, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so many other like studios that they don't even like spend anything, and they have like 7 8 single developers, indies,
Hmm.
whatever, you know what I mean? Just like they making a lot of good products. And if they can, these big corporations, they will be like, if the other people can do it with nothing, why don't we?
Yeah.
Why don't we do it? You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
I mean, if it's in their capacity, they're gonna do it. Yeah, but
Yeah.
you just have to be inspired.
Yeah, you
because
definitely have to be inspired, dude.
yeah, because these guys that made those great games are, they're talented people. To have uh, to make this feat, because it is a feat to make such a great game at that scale. It's not everybody can do it, but somebody has to do it. And a
Yeah.
few studios we've seen, they've done it. They've shown that it's possible. Yeah, I don't see like huge budgets and in video games being viable anymore.
No, no,
Like,
dude. Especially now with the AI. I'm not talking about
yeah,
Gen
no, no,
AI,
no,
but
no.
yeah, I
Now,
don't think.
yeah, they have a I we need them to be a little more on the budget, not be over like 200 million and stuff like that. We're not Not everybody is Rockstar, not everybody
Yeah,
can make such a game. And we've seen quite a few examples where 200, 300, 400 million has been
yeah,
spent, and it's been drained down the toilet, like literally. uh, what was the game that had been shot? Concord, right?
yeah.
That
That's a
game
lot of
was
money.
that was so much money for a game that survived days.
The same thing you could say about Marathon, because Marathon cost around 200 plus
Hmm.
million bucks. So basically, if you actually take the main competitor, the game that actually make make extraction shooters really skyrocket the whole genre,
Yeah,
which was Arc Raiders. Arc Raiders being made with 70 million bucks, and they sold 16 million copies, bro.
yeah,
They didn't just break even,
yeah,
they just make the profit like for another probably 10 Arc Raiders
yeah.
games, you know what I mean?
Probably,
Which
yeah,
is, and that's the actual thing. It's a very good game. Okay, it lose relevance like every other game, you cannot
yeah,
just like keep on top like all the time. But my point is that you don't need 200 million.
yeah.
Bungie, please, you don't need 200 million for an extraction shooter. You don't need
Yeah,
it, because now
please.
you struggling to break even. You
Yeah.
struggle to break even.
Uh, when I heard the news that they laid off people, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying I'm pissed, because okay, you have Destiny 2. You killed Destiny 2. Okay. So, you claim that you are going to move the dev team from Destiny 2 to a Marathon, which is not doing great at all. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe you want to support it. Maybe you want to kickstart it. You have the season 2 coming up. My God, why are you laying off the dev team?
I'll explain to you why. Because one is it's such a complex game, you know. And
Yeah.
extraction shooters, they don't need so many developers. Like if you have like 500 people working on Destiny, you know, you don't need 500 people to work on Marathon. I mean,
Yeah.
there's other like studios that they've done an extraction shooter very well made that with less. Not even 100 people, I think they were working on Embark Studios when they were making Arc
Mhm.
Raiders. You know what I mean? So I don't think that they need 400 or 500 people from Destiny 2 to create and advance an extraction shooter.
I mean, you don't need them, but you said you moved them from one game to another, but now you're laying them off. Like,
Yeah. Let's
okay,
see. Let's see. Based on the news, that's what maybe it would have been nice if we just extend the podcast for
yeah, no, we've
actually,
extended it enough.
to
It's fine.
yeah, I think, yeah, maybe if we just like, we will just keep the news in July, but we will make another one on 100%. But
Anyway,
we don't know exactly what's going to happen. All of these things are like rumors and we don't know if they're true.
I think the playing field is going to be cleared in the next 1 or 2 weeks, or maybe a
100%.
month max. So we will be here, and I will talk about it. So,
Yeah. So let's go.
what else?
So we
Yeah,
go back to Xbox. Yeah, let's go back to
sure,
Xbox
sure.
because we make it way too general. So let's speak about
Yep.
Xbox.
What a lot of stuff for Xbox, bro.
Yeah, Xbox is crazy, dude. You cannot. We need to understand one thing because I've seen a lot of like discourse around it. Corporations are not evil, guys.
Yep.
They're not evil. They care about profit, and based on the recent reports that they almost losing half a billion in the last like 5 years, Xbox, they need to make huge changes. So they will see which studios they just overspend that they didn't and underdelivered, and these people they will have like huge hits. Yeah, it's not a very good thing. It's very sad, but that's how it works at the end of the day. So one thing that I want to actually discuss about like what you were saying about overhiring and overspending, one of the biggest like things that we can say about is Ninja Theory. Ninja Theory is literally the cleanest example that we can actually speak about. Hellblade 1,
Hmm.
Senua's Sacrifice, it was a masterpiece of a game.
Literally a masterpiece. It was a great game.
But this game made with by 20 people with a budget of under $10 million. And in the first 3 months, they sold 500,000 copies. They generated $13 million, which is basically they broke even and they make profit as well. Now, when they were doing it, they were just like an indie studio. They weren't like under the Xbox umbrella, Since Xbox bought the whole studio, acquired the whole studio, and start making Hellblade 2, the team from 20 people became 100,
Hmm.
80, 100, around that. Imagine how much money they would spend for the second game. And based on the reports that they have on many like articles, it didn't sell very well, the second game. We don't know how much they are the earnings of
Yeah,
Xbox, of the Game Pass, from the Game Pass. But that's one of the things. It's one of the things that I really am pissed as well about Game Pass, because we cannot have clear image, if the clear picture, if the games actually sell enough or they
yeah,
don't sell. You know what I mean? So that's why we cannot be critical against Ninja Theory, Compulsion, whatever, because we don't know if they actually have a revenue. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Or like profit at the end of the
Yeah,
day.
and Xbox Game Pass bundles everything all together, so you don't know exactly what's sold and whatnot.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've talked about Game Pass in the past, and like we have our problems with Game Pass as like a marketing strategy. I don't think Game Pass is working. Uh, I'm really not, and it shows now more than ever. It shows that Xbox is reconstructing basically everything about Xbox.
Yeah.
The reset, as Asha put it in one of her interviews, seems like everything is going to be reset. And I want
Yeah.
to see a change in strategy on Game Pass as well, because this thing is not working. You've had like Game Pass for what is it, like 6 years, 7 years now, and
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
and from those 6 years, let's say 5 of them were a loss. So clearly, it's not working, and
Hmm.
the doesn't matter. It doesn't have anything to do with the quality of the games on the Game Pass library. It doesn't have anything to do with how many games you have on the library. It's just not a good strategy. Game Pass is not a good strategy because you are missing out on so many sales. Like, let's take Hellblade: Senior Sacrifice 2 for example. Um, if that game was just standalone and you had to buy it to play it, yeah, maybe it's not the best for the consumer, but it's not the best for the company as well to have it on Game Pass day one.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't make sense for the company, but they still did it.
Hmm.
So we want we I mean, talking
Yeah.
about me and George, we want a sort of like a reconstruction on the strategy of Game Pass.
We don't hear
I don't
anything
know.
about it.
Hmm?
Only thing that we hear, sorry that I'm
Yeah,
interrupting. Only thing that we hear is like layoffs and all that, but we haven't
yeah,
heard anything about like what's gonna happen with Game Pass. The only thing that we know is that Call of Duty
yeah.
is off now, so they lower the price. We don't know anything else. You know, are they planning to do anything, any changes on this? Is it a problem?
I
Is it not a problem? I don't know. Dude.
I would be happy if they released their first party games a year after on Game Pass, because you need to make those initial sales.
Yeah,
You cannot just make a game, like spend $100 million on a game, make it and release it for free on Game Pass.
plus that
Like,
there's a lot of marketing as well
yeah,
prior,
of course.
like, so you put a lot of marketing
I
pre-release.
mean, marketing is
And
in the budget. Yeah, but
yeah, it is, but all I'm trying to explain is like you butchering your marketing,
mhm,
your spend, your funding to marketing, you know what I mean, like to marketing a game that it will be available with 21.99 bucks,
yeah,
rather than, as you said, which in my opinion that's the restructuring that they need to do. As you said,
mhm,
that the first parties, they need to come later. Don't know
yeah.
when. Might be six
There's
months if they break
there's
even or
no
whatever.
there's no problem if you release like your games on Game Pass like a year after. Like, there's literally no problem. People will buy your games day one, and all the other gamers that don't want to spend like $80 on the game will buy Game Pass a year later to play them. That's fine, but you're losing so much money on the initial sales. by putting the game on a Game Pass. Like, it's moronic in a sense. Like, it's not a good strategy at all, and I think they should change that.
Definitely, they need to change that. But one of the reasons they don't do it is because hopefully us are gonna do it. But Xbox in since like Xbox One era, the last gen, obviously, they just you know they just build the whole community, the whole mindset around how we will reach the primary goal: 100 concurrent subscribers on Game Pass. So in order to do that, we needed to expand our library, you know,
Yeah, that's
and by expanding the library, you need to acquire many studios
yeah.
with the huge, literally the iceberg level that probably that could sink a whole Titanic is
Yeah,
Activision acquisition, which was
yeah.
like 68.4 billion. That's a lot of money, dude. I don't know
That's
if they can come back to get this money back. Even if you have like a big title as Call of Duty, you cannot do it. You cannot make this money
how
so
many
easy.
like how many Call of Duties do you have to develop to make back that money? Like
Probably a lot, dude.
to break
Many,
even.
many,
Like,
many, many, many.
I don't think the investment was good at all. Like, even getting Call of Duty on Game Pass was not the
In the end,
decision to make. Couldn't
it's
you
not that
have
good.
like instead of buying out the whole company, could you have like an agreement with them to be on Game Pass instead of like burning $70 billion on Activision? Um,
The acquisition is not a bad thing, in my opinion, dude. Really, it's not a bad thing. Like if you
yeah, but
actually
it costs 70 billion.
yeah, it costs 70 billion, but you could make a lot more money if you know how to do it. You know what I mean? Because the good thing about Xbox right now with Activision is that the 60% of players of Call of Duty, they come from PS,
Yeah,
and that's the benefit of Xbox of like Call of Duty still being playable on PS. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And that's the best thing that happened to them. So I don't think that the acquisition is a bad thing. What is it is really bad is like you make all these acquisitions just to fill Game Pass. You know what I mean? That's what's the problem. Just to increase the value of Game Pass, so you will bring more subscribers in. But that's where you shot yourself in the foot, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm talking about the same thing, but all I'm saying is that the Activision's acquisition was 70 billion. I mean, the acquisition itself wasn't bad, but $70 billion is a lot of money to make back and break even. That's what I'm saying. It's a lot. It's a lot of money. It's a huge amount of money.
They will make the money back, in my opinion, about that. If they will know how to do it, they will make it back. But
In
I
my
see a lot
opinion,
of
to make 70 billion back, you have to do everything right. Like, you cannot make any mistakes.
that's what we're trying. That's what we're trying to say now.
Yeah,
Because that they don't do the things right,
yeah, of
and
course, yeah,
the people now right now they just having a constant war around. Ninja Theory will go, Compulsion will go, Double Fine will go. So all these indie level studios, like they will be the first to hit, and then we focusing just for the big IPs and huge IPs. I don't think that's the case. Like people, they think that because these small studios they go, that they focusing on 343 industries, about like Halo, Coalition with the new Gears. I think if Gears doesn't sell well, I don't think that they will be fine, because it's a game that costs 400 million,
yeah.
a $400 million game, dude. So I don't think that it's easy for them either. So by saying that they focusing on the big IPs, it kind of a little bit makes sense, but I don't think that these big IPs they're safe either.
No, definitely not. I think like Xbox needs to, from this point forward, has to make like 90% of their decisions have to be the right decisions. Otherwise, it's all bad news. Like the majority of their ideas and decisions that they're going to make need to be the right ones.
They need to find the right heads though, because
Yeah.
okay, we could say we could sit here and speak about like for hours about how these studios they didn't like bring any profit, especially with Compulsion. One of the biggest example now is Compulsion, because allegedly they were saying that South of Midnight cost 100 million, including the marketing. You know what I mean? And they didn't even make this money back. You know what I mean? Like they didn't even make any profit. But my problem is not Compulsion, dude. My problem is the executive who actually greenlit this project. And he said, you know what? Yes, 100 million. Let's do it. How, dude? Compulsion was an indie studio like before, you know what I mean? How
Yeah.
you give someone 100 million bucks, if it's true, to make a game that clearly they don't have experience how they will make a AAA game, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
How you give them, I don't know, dude. These people, they have to lose their jobs first, and then we should discuss about the talent in devs in Compulsion or like all the other studios that we're mentioning right now. These people, they
Yeah.
have to go first, and then obviously you need to actually have people that they know what gamers want, they know the market, they know that if this idea worth 100 million, because what is this thing screams to me, just you have some clueless corpos, you know, being up there with the suitcases and stuff like that, that they don't do nothing, they don't do anything, they don't know anything about the medium at all.
Yeah. I mean, that's a recurring problem to the industry, to be honest. Like, you have uh, people in suits, having all of these ideas and all the decisions that they're making. And it's like, are you even listening to the community, bro? Is there, not you, but is there anyone in there in your office building, like on X and Reddit, listening to what your customers want, what your consumers want?
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
every decision I've seen in the last like 2 years was the most anti-gamer, anti-consumer, let's say. Not all of the decisions, by the way, and I'm just exaggerating, but a lot of these decisions have been trash. and
Yeah,
it's and it's really disheartening. Like, we are gamers, we love games, and you are taking a crap on the medium. Like, that's that's not hopeful at all.
definitely it isn't. But it's not about like only like listening the community, as you say, you know,
Yeah.
because now they listen to the community
Yeah.
when the community doesn't buy the game, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So you listen to the community, kind of. That's why you have
Yeah.
to turn it around. But the
Speaking with
most
your wallet.
important thing, yeah, the most important thing is how you understand, as you said, the community and the
Yeah.
gamers. You know what I mean? You need to understand this market in order to say that this game is a niche game. Because South of Midnight is not a game that it could sell like 2 or 3 million. Let's be honest. It's a niche experience. It's not like for everyone. Same
Mm-hmm.
with Hellblade. So speak and organize the whole studio to have like 50, 40, 60 developers to make a better game than the previous one, but the scope is smaller and the scale is smaller. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
More like, you know, close to double A rather than triple A,
Yeah.
you
Yeah. Yeah.
know? You cannot just
Just
like
a little
take
bit
them.
bigger. Yeah.
Yeah, just a little bit bigger. Just give them time to advance. Give them time like to get into the
Yeah.
triple
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
space.
Yeah. You cannot. Yeah. From one day to another, like, go from a double A to a triple A studio, because I've said this before. Like, it was the last episode of the previous one before that I said that you cannot scale a company so fast from, like, from a double A to triple A in 1 year or 2 years. Uh, it- there's no excuse for why you would make such a decision. If you want the game done fast, that's bad news for you. If you want better performance or prettier graphics, that's bad for you. You cannot scale in that matter that fast. You just cannot,
Yeah,
because you have the new members of the dev team have to integrate like naturally into the rest of your team, that your existing team. You cannot have like 20, 30 30 people in the dev team and then just dump 200 more on top of them, because it's shit just not gonna work. you
yeah,
cannot you cannot do that. People have to gradually come in and integrate slowly. So that's the only way. And this is not just for gaming. This is not just for gaming anyway. It's just in general for any company at all. You cannot overhire everyone, because everything is not going to be right.
definitely.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you. And yeah, they have to do something crazy. And by the way, I just want to make it clear, it's not confirmed that Compulsion like spent 100 million. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But based on the team and the duration, we are not claiming that it's been confirmed. Just
Yeah, it's a rumor.
outside of the controversies, whatever. You know what I mean? Just just like it's very bad. It's very bad. It's really bad. Like just the overhiring. If you actually check the stuff that they used to work before, both these studios, right? Like Compulsion and, as we said, like Ninja Theory, it's crazy the amounts of developers that they get.
Yeah.
So that's, I don't know, dude. I don't know what they need to do. I'm gonna say it again. Game Pass is not profitable, and I don't think, and they just been blinded by their own ambition and foolishness, in my opinion, that they thought that by 2028 or 2030, whatever, they thought they if the smallest thought right on their head, they literally thought, based on the Xbox One sales, which was stupid in my opinion. I don't know who take these decisions. Was it Phil? Was someone else? I don't get it, dude, because that was really stupid. Whoever thought had these expectations, these unrealistic expectations, that Game Pass eventually will reach 100 million. 100 million subs. That must be naive or clueless, dude.
with, you are literally talking about like a tenth of all gamers worldwide.
Probably, yeah. 100%.
like that's so unrealistic. And it's not like a free service. Like, it's not like Facebook, which is like a social media and it's free. This is a paid service.
Yeah.
You cannot expect you to have like everyone on board, or like, how is that going to happen? First of all, they need to have Xbox or PC, first of all, and we know that a big majority of gamers play on PlayStation only. Like,
Yeah.
and not all PC players and not all Xbox players are subscribed to Game Pass. Like, it's such an unrealistic like
Expectation.
idea to have. Like, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
I don't think that Nintendo, okay, Nintendo and Sony together, they might. I don't think that they will reach 100 million subscribers.
No,
Not Xbox alone,
definitely not Nintendo.
especially based how Xbox One tanked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like how you could make this. We look up to Netflix, but it's not the same thing.
It's not
Dude.
the same.
Even the industries are they having like 20 times this. They're 20 times the size. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Movies, films, series, like all this stuff, and you don't need to spend like 100 million for a season one.
Yeah.
On a Netflix show. You know what I mean? So it doesn't work like that. We don't have the audience, but we spend we need more money to actually create games. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? So, in my opinion, in order to actually work this thing with these new AAA figures that we have nowadays, we might need 150 million.
Yeah,
Who's gonna be a subscriber to this one, dude?
they're gonna beg people to subscribe twice. Like that's the only way you're going to get to that number. It's like crazy.
And I really hate the green team a lot, because people that will come now to us with torches and pitchforks, whatever, like, oh, how you going against to such a consumer friendly like method? Because it doesn't work. That's why.
It's not working. Like Xbox gonna die because of this. Shut up.
Exactly, dude. It's just
uh,
like, people, listen to how cheap these people they thinking, dude. I'm gonna say it clearly. I would rather pay 70 or 80 bucks. What? Oh, they will burn me. They will burn me to the ground because I said 80 bucks. I would rather like pay 70, 80, even 100 bucks for a game that is really good, rather than having this subscription that they will cost like 30 bucks a month,
yeah,
and have like 500 games, because I know that in 10 years down the line, this will be very bad thing for the company and the studios I really love and the games that I love.
yeah. Even if
I
it
cannot stress
works
this
out,
enough.
even if
Yeah,
it works out for Xbox, like let's say Game Pass is huge and Xbox is making $2 trillion per week, whatever the fuck. It's still going to be bad for the rest of the development teams and the rest of the platforms. It's going to be like, is either it's going to be lose lose or win lose, like that. That's it. Like it's a
it's
terrible
not a good.
terrible tactic, and it's not working out. I mean, we can see that it's not working out,
And we
and
will
it's
say it again. We don't want to get rid of it. Just restructure it.
yeah,
Just
yeah, yeah,
have it. In my opinion, do you want to be more consumer friendly? For you guys, I will be 100%. Listen to me. I could. It could be possible Game Pass to become like 14 and 70 bucks and not 21. Just remove all the first parties from day one and release them after 1 year, as Michael said.
yeah, yeah,
After 2 years, make the money and then give it. As a service, already as a service, 17 bucks and 14 bucks, based on the library, the huge library that they already have, it's value for money.
yeah,
Like anyone who is a good gamer and wants to play games with 70 bucks, even with 21 bucks a month, you have a library of 500 games. Are all of them very good? Obviously not. Some of them they're really good.
yeah.
But even now with the games that we have, it's valuable. Just all the future releases, move them. Move them after one
Yeah.
year. We don't want to
Even
get rid of like Game Pass.
even that, like if you release the games a year after, if you don't want to do that for some reason, just you can remove remove your games from the library, like for the day one releases, I mean, add them 6 months later.
Yeah.
But if someone is a subscriber to Game Pass, they can have like a 30% discount to the game.
Yeah.
Like, isn't that value for money? Like, there are so many ways you can restructure this thing, and it will be more profitable for Xbox.
I
Like
totally agree
gamers,
with you.
like listen to me. If you want Xbox to survive, Xbox has been here since our childhoods. I remember the first Xbox, like the cement block, like the huge one. I remember it from my childhood. I don't want. I'm not an Xbox fan by any stretch of the imagination, but I don't want them I don't want to see them gone. But with this model, with Game Pass, Xbox is going to die.
Yeah.
We cannot have that. We need to talk about ways that they can restructure Game Pass and Xbox as a whole and make it work so the company doesn't shut its doors. It's that simple. It's not about I mean, it's all about the consumer, but the company doesn't have to bend over backwards for the consumer. Like Game Pass is that thing exactly. Like they're bending over backwards for the consumer. That's too much. That's too much of a stretch for pleasing the consumers.
Yeah.
That's it. Like you can do so much better. Yeah, the consumers are not going to be as satisfied as they are now, but you are going to lose your studios. You are going to lose your platform if you keep this up. So you have to
Yeah.
change.
And we can actually like agree. We can actually confirm what you're saying right now, because even Microsoft, that basically, Microsoft and Xbox is one.
Yep.
That's what people they need to understand. Microsoft right now, the latest reports, they're saying that considering spinning Xbox into its own subsidiary. That's probably a reason why, right? That
I mean,
probably
yeah.
probably they have internal funding from Microsoft to Xbox and
Yeah.
bleeding the money. Like if it was healthy, Microsoft they wouldn't want to be detached by
Yeah.
Xbox and be its own independent company kind of thing. But obviously they are the leaders.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. It makes sense. I'm not saying
Yeah.
that all of this thing is based on on Game Pass numbers, right? Because there is
Yeah.
like a collection of things that happen
Hmm.
in the last like 5-10 years, previous generation as well, that it's not working for Xbox. You know what I mean? And I remember like there is a lot of people that were saying that Xbox Game Pass it might be in a better like position if we had actually good history of good games in the last
Hmm.
like 7-8 years. I totally agree with this claim. And that's what I was saying about like Phil. Phil is a great guy, but under his leadership, they didn't deliver good games. And
Yeah.
they overspent on games that they didn't need to overspend. Like they don't have a good judgment back then. And that's why Asha needs to be aggressive right now.
Yeah.
She needs to actually do something. Otherwise, as you said, we might lose the green team.
Yeah. Uh,
And that's sad, dude.
that would be the saddest day of the decade. Like losing Xbox is like, you're losing all of these classic titles with it as well. Of course, maybe they could be acquired by the other companies, maybe Sony, maybe another independent studio, but you're losing Halo, like you're losing Fable. There are so many examples with
Gears, yeah.
the Xbox 360 era and the original Xbox. Like you cannot wouldn't want to lose Xbox because there are so many beloved franchises that are basically tied with Xbox, and you don't want to lose that. Also, you don't want to lose Xbox because you are decreasing competition in the industry. Like
Yeah.
we have three companies right now, and PC, which is like you know a collection of both, and there also are indies which are independent, but losing competition is like straight up bad for us as gamers because it gives footing for the other companies to do what they please. If everything goes in that direction, someday we might have a monopoly against gamers, and who
That's
wants a
gonna be true.
monopoly in any industry? No one, because that's so bad for the consumers. It's only good for the company that produces a product, and you don't want that. You don't want that in your near or far future. You don't want that.
Yeah. They need immediate actions. They need to change the whole structure of Game Pass in order to turn
Yeah,
this around, in my opinion. Because as I said like 2 episodes ago, the problem with Game Pass is that Xbox right now teach the players to spend like 20 bucks a month rather than 70. and
Yep.
people they will not gonna do it, dude. Like people they love Forza, the new Forza, let's say, they might buy it, you know.
Hmm.
There might be 5%, 10% of the people that they bought it, you know what I mean? Like all the major sales probably there from Steam. And the game sold a lot of like copies. Don't get me wrong. Like it's a success. This
Mm.
game is a successful game, you know, but the majority of people they would be like, why would I go and spend $70 to buy the game when I can easily like play the game for 10, 20 hours with $21? Like
Yeah.
that's how you teach the audience. Now a lot of people they will be like, yeah, but if the service is there, why we don't use it? I'm not saying that don't use the service. I'm just saying that by using the service, Xbox teaching you to keep using the service, that was the purpose,
Yeah.
and that was the wrong thing.
Yeah. Definitely.
Because
Because
right now, how you will transition them? How?
yeah, no chance. Yeah, they're already accustomed to that strategy, so they're just gonna keep subscribing. And one thing I've said before is that when Xbox releases a game like that's really good, let's say Gears of War, people are just going to sub for 1 month and
Hmm.
they're gonna cancel afterwards. They're gonna play the game, they're gonna beat the game, and they're gonna leave the service.
Exactly.
That's the one major flaw that I have they thought about that. Like it seems not like they must have thought about that, but people are going to sub for 1 month, beat the game, and then cancel. That's it. But the whole idea of this strategy for Game Pass is that you want recurring month after month subscribers, and that's just not gonna happen. That's why I'm saying that you need to release the games a year afterwards. Because
Yeah.
if the gamers want to play that game, specifically that game, they need to pay. They need to pay full price. Maybe after a year, add it to Game Pass. Yeah,
Yeah.
now it's great. But you cannot add your best-selling games day one on Game Pass because people are just gonna sub for 1 month and that's it, and you're gonna lose them.
Yeah. And as we said earlier, like you butchering your own marketing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because these people they just working their asses off to make amazing advertisements, like to have
yeah.
exposed to expose the project, whatever, and then in the end they'll be like available on Game Pass day one. You know what I mean? People they'll be like, yay, $21, finish. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
21 bucks. I'm finished. Yeah. Yeah.
But losing
There's
is losing 50, losing $15, $50 like easily.
yeah.
Like from games like Halo or whatever, you know what I mean? Because even people they will be like, okay, let's say that we sell or the majority of the sales they coming from Steam. Yeah, but getting the 30%, still you make more money. You're still making more money rather than a guy paying $21 to play a library. And that's the thing that you said, like most of the games, and that's how we are as gamers. Gamers, it's a little bit rare to return to a game that we already finished.
Hmm.
And you're completely right about that. And I saw an amazing I saw an amazing like example about it, with a guy says that the main reason that I want to keep HBO subscription is because I will have 24/7 Sopranos, Game of Thrones, whatever, because they're not available anywhere else,
Hmm.
you know? And that's why I want them for 12 months, because if I want to return, I will have them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Gaming, on the other hand, the majority of people, they will not gonna resubscribe to play a game that they already played.
Yeah.
You either need for 12 months, which is unrealistic as hell, right?
Yeah.
For 12 months, every month to release a banger after banger, every month, 12 games, right? Which
Yeah.
is highly unlikely for people to keep subscribing, subscribing on the platform. Otherwise, you cannot do it. Like you will
Yeah.
have these tanking months, as you said,
Yeah. Yeah.
that because you don't have anything. You don't have any games, you don't have anything. You'll have like people that they want to play games, but yeah, how many people they will keep 24 months? No, sorry, 12 months the subscription. They cannot do it.
It's
Even if you get the annual pack, you don't do it, dude.
yeah, it's highly unrealistic to expect like gamers to like have a subscription for the whole year. Yeah, there are a lot of people that have Game Pass for the whole year and they play all the whole library, it seems, but that's just not the majority. Like it's not even it's not the whole industry, it's not the whole community. As I would say, this model is not working because gamers are just going to subscribe for 1 month. They need to play like the new Forza, the new Gears of War, the new Halo. There's just gonna beat it, and they're just gonna cancel. Like
Yeah,
most of them. And even if you have like, even if the 34 million subscribers that they have right now on Game Pass, even if those are concurrent month to month subscribers, you don't want them to have your day one released on Game Pass. You don't want them to have that because why
yeah,
would you? Maybe it's just to say that, oh, we have a service, and if you subscribe, you can have our latest games day one on Game Pass for free. And yeah, that's great and all, but it seems from all that we've seen in the past 5 years, it seems that that's hurting you the most, and like keeping at it seems like a terrible idea. Like
yeah.
it's crazy to think about.
And one of the good examples actually we could give about the growth that you said earlier about, like, it happened recently with Forza.
Hmm.
It was literally after 8 months, 8+ months of decline, they had the largest growth Game Pass for this 1 month that Forza
Yeah.
releases. Why? You
Why?
have like another like 10 or 15, 20 million, let's say, people that they subscribe because they
I
didn't
would
want to
bet
buy
like
the game, dude.
I would bet like the month after that it's gonna
Yeah,
be on the decline as well. Like
probably. Yeah,
yeah,
100%.
I mean it's it's the logical thing. Like I'm not a like listen. I'm not a businessman. I haven't worked in business like a day in my life, but these are bad decisions. Like this is bad. Like it makes so much sense that it is bad. It's a bad idea. It's a bad tactic. I don't know why they keeping at it. I want to see change. That's what I want to see. I want to see like a decision that says, okay, you know what? Day one releases are not working out for us. First party titles are going coming like a year later down the line because
Yeah.
j- like one thing I saw that was great was they added in Xbox there's like a sort of like a forum now, sort of like Reddit,
Yeah.
and people can comment and post things, and basically it's Xbox's way of getting direct feedback from their platform, and seems to be working out great so far. I saw that, and I want to see like Xbox implementing these comments and the feedback that they're getting. I want them to integrate all of it to Xbox. Like you need to listen right now. You need to listen to what your consumers want, and you
I
need
mean,
to fulfill their needs.
and they need to understand what is your needs at the moment as a studio,
Mhm.
as a company. You know what I mean? Because people, one of the first, like, the major like things that the fans want from this poll system that they created is that they need more exclusives, which
Yeah.
they did it with Gears and Clockwork Revolution. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
These two titles that will be exclusively launched on Xbox. But the thing is, what worries me, right? Is that the right call right now? That you don't have a lot of money. Like it seems that you don't, that's why you're doing the layoffs. You're going for a reset.
Hmm.
Like, what you want to do? Do you actually want to make sales, or you actually care to sell hardware? Because I think right now we're 5 years after the generation started. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I think it's a little bit too late for people to force people to buy an Xbox. That's what I'm thinking. Plus, right now it's not the right call because all the platforms, all the consoles, they cost
Yeah.
tons more money. You know what I mean?
Yeah, their cost is like out of this world. Why? I mean,
Yeah.
I know why. I don't have to ask why. That was
And
a
and
rhetorical question.
Even NASA said that they don't make money
Yeah,
from Xbox sales. They don't make money because it's really
yeah.
expensive, the parts right now. So what do you want to do right now? What do you
I
want to
mean,
do?
it's not a bad idea to release games. Anyway, that's what they do. Like that's
Yeah.
what they should do. They make games. They sell games. But uh, if I see like Gears of War Day One on Game Pass, like I'm going to be
It
terribly
will be day one.
disappointed.
It will be.
I'm it's a terrible idea, and then keeping at it, like we'll see. Like it's gonna be terrible. Like it's
And
it's
it
it's a
is
fact that
stupid.
people are going to subscribe and then just cancel. Maybe even straight away. I do that sometimes on Netflix. I sub, and a minute later I just cancel, so I get like 1 month.
Yeah. I don't
And
know, dude. Just like,
pe-
yeah.
people do that all the time, especially on Game Pass. Okay, I want to play one game which is available on Game Pass. Let me sub for 1 month, and then that's it. I'm out.
And we're talking about, as we said earlier, right? We're talking about like 400 million production. Like, you cannot ditch right now potential 2-3 million sales from PlayStation
Yeah,
gamers. You know what I mean?
seems like
That's money.
suicide.
I don't know. And I'm really afraid about Inxile because I think I don't know about like Gears of War if it would sell very well on PS, but I think Inxile Studios, they making an amazing RPG title, a steampunk RPG title, and I think that PS gamers, they would buy this game more.
Hmm.
And as a smaller studio with smaller scale and not so, the fund is not like as great as obviously is
Hmm.
Gears of War. I'm afraid that if we will not gonna go well, we will lose them as well. And that's what I don't want to see, in my opinion, because they actually it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. I don't know. I don't know. Fable, it will be on PS.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The new Fable is gonna be on PS. Like, why these two games they cannot be on PS? And you will have. I'm pretty sure, like, if this gonna be exposed, this video, you will see in the comments below how many people from Green Team that will be like, "Oh my goodness, of course we need fucking exclusives. Why PlayStation does it? Because PlayStation doesn't have any problem with money. That's why they do it. They already sold 100 plus million PS5 consoles, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
That's why they don't care to release games on PC anymore. They tried to do it. They didn't make a lot of sales. They canceled it because they don't care. PS players, they
Yeah.
have a lot of PS players that they will buy their games regardless.
Hmm.
You have the problem right now.
Yeah.
You have the problem. That's why you're cutting so many jobs. That's why you're doing everything. I'm not saying that Sony is perfect because they have a lot of problems as well internally. But Xbox right now, they have huge problems. And I don't think that right now is the right call to go for exclusivity, to bring exclusivity back. You need to get your shit together,
Yeah.
regroup, and then do it.
Yeah. Seems like they're rushing there a little bit, but
Yeah.
who knows? I'm hoping, like the hopium is very large on this one, but I'm hoping like they're gonna prove us wrong. Like
Yeah,
imagine like if the Xbox like flops completely, like
that's
that's
crazy, dude.
just sad to think about. Like I don't know why I'm not even like an Xbox fan, but it's very sad to think about.
The only sure thing is that after 2 weeks, that probably we'll do another video. We'll have all these reports, layoffs. We'll see if there will be true or not. These next 2 weeks is gonna be massive, dude.
Yeah,
Like we either this thing is going to be, reports and fake reports, whatever, or just, you know, we're going for huge layoffs,
yeah,
and that will be sad. It will be sad to see, and then will be sad to actually s- sit down on the next like episode talking about what's going on, what's going to happen actually. But I can't wait in a way, what I mean,
yeah.
to do that, because I don't want like to actually, I know we are here like to cover news and stuff, but I don't want to actually discuss about rumors all the time.
I
I
mean,
would love,
yeah, but we have like most of the rumors are leaked internally, but not by accident. It's not like somebody stumbles upon them.
yeah,
So rumors, even though we have to take them with a big grain of salt, like you have to pay a little attention to them because,
yeah, no,
like, let's say half of the time they're right. Even
totally
even if
agree.
we say something that was a rumor, that was fake news, that was false, it was just a rumor and we just had to talk about it because we don't know that if it's right or not, but you should know about it because maybe it is.
Yeah, and I think
Anyway.
and I think what's going on with Microsoft, because we need to close as well. And I think what's going on with Microsoft is kind of true, because there's already reports that um compulsion games and Ninja Theory, they try to find investors,
Mhm.
so they can bot themselves or whatever. Yeah, it's sad,
Yeah.
dude. I think it's coming.
We'll see in the next few weeks, maybe even next week, we'll see.
Not a happy video, guys. What can we do?
Yeah.
Hopefully the next one's gonna be a little bit more happy,
Yeah.
a lot happier actually. But
Well, I'm juiced right now.
me
so
too, dude.
so hot.
Like, yeah.
Anyway, I would like to thank everybody for watching this video. If you enjoyed our content here, please leave a like and subscribe to our channel. Uh, a lot of people that are watching this video are not subscribed to our channel, so please keep in mind that we need your support as well.
Click the button. Click the button.
Click the button. Click the button. It's right there. It's a red one. It's a red one.
Click the button.
Anyway, uh, again, thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next week. Bye bye. Thank you.
Peace.
Peace.